Coming up on SCTV3, learn more about Springfield's annual Giving Day.
Plus, see what the Best of Broadway Club is performing for this year's spring musical.
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Hello, and good evening, and welcome to this edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. I'm Lanaya Delgado.
And I'm Nina Hutchins. Thank you for joining us.
We start tonight's show right here on Alden Street with Springfield College's annual Giving Day. Giving back has been a long part of Springfield College's culture, and each year that spirit is highlighted through the call to support the college and its programs.
The college surpassed its $1 million goal and raised a total of $1,015,420. I spoke with members of the campus community to see what Giving Day means to them. Wednesday, March 4th marked Springfield College's annual Giving Day, a 24-hour campaign that encourages supporters to come together and give back to the community. Throughout the day, donors were encouraged to support areas they feel most passionate about, from academic programs to athletic teams and campus initiatives. Giving Day is not only for raising funds, but also celebrating school spirit and strengthening connections within the Springfield College network.
It really is about stepping up and paying it forward and supporting all of the different resources that students have available to them on campus and make sure their student experience is the best it can be. So,
GiveCampus.com allowed donors from all across the world to pitch in and keep track of live fundraising progress, creating a sense of connection throughout the day. The event also plays a significant role in supporting student athletics, providing essential funding for equipment, travel, facility improvements, and overall program development.
Giving Day means a lot to our team. It gives us the opportunity to go out and travel to wonderful places such as California and continue our process to continue to play national championship level volleyball.
Each donation, no matter the size, enhances student life and directly supports opportunities that help shape the Pride community. Support in Giving Day only increases each year, reflecting the dedication and pride of the Springfield College community. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Nina Hutchins.
The William Simpson Fine Arts Gallery debuted 2 new exhibits on Monday. The exhibits were titled Not All Birds Are Blackbirds and The Ethics of Ambiguity. Located on the 2nd floor of Springfield's Blake Hall, the exhibit is currently open Monday through Friday until April 3rd. The display is designed to explore perception, meaning, and presence in a world defined by transscience. There will be an artist talk and reception about the display on Thursday, April 2nd in the William Blizzard Gallery at 3:15. These events are free and open to the Springfield College community. If you are interested in seeing the great art being made by SC students here on campus, consider walking over to Blake Hall and checking out the exhibit.
This coming Monday, March 9th, the 13th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Lecture will be held in the Campus Union's Dodge Room. The event is scheduled for 11:30 in the morning and is centered around the topic of Black-Jewish reconciliation and rebuilding the bridge between the two communities. SCTV3's Caleb Knowles has more on the upcoming presentation.
In June of 1964, Springfield College hosted one of the most renowned civil rights leaders in the world to deliver its commencement address, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Despite multiple attempts to prevent King from appearing on Alden Street, he delivered what would become one of the most significant speeches ever given on the campus. Just days before the ceremony, which was delivered in the then Memorial Fieldhouse, King was arrested and jailed in St. Augustine, Florida, during a civil rights protest. Released only shortly before the commencement, he traveled all the way up the East Coast and spoke to the class of 1964 on Sunday, June 14th. The following day, he continued on to Yale. At the time, college president Glenn Olds faced significant controversy for inviting King, including pressure from the FBI urging the college to reconsider the appearance.
So he was often regarded as a communist. And one of the things that, because of the fact that, he wanted to uplift everyone, and so one of those arguments that the FBI brought against Martin Luther King was, you can't have this communist come here and speak in front of the student body.
Today, the college continues to honor King's legacy through its annual Martin Luther King Jr. Lecture, an event designed to bring the campus and surrounding community together to discuss ongoing struggles for equality and social justice. Current Springfield College President Mary Beth Cooper started the event, emphasizing its role in fostering dialogue even when those conversations may be challenging.
A signature event because it's one of the events in the spring that we want to get on people's calendar as soon as possible. And we talk about it in the community, and we talk about it with trustees and the local community to invite people that are in this area to come to campus and be exposed to a different kind of thinker, somebody that's courageous, somebody that might do something outside the box, but most importantly, somebody that either from a population that doesn't have a voice or a marginalized community, or somebody that has gone above and beyond to assist others that may be that don't have a voice.
Over the years, the lecture has had many guest speakers who share personal stories and address issues rooted in racial injustice. This year's panel focuses on the Black and Jewish alliance during the Civil Rights Movement and its relevance today. Journalist and documentary filmmaker Avi Dresner will be a featured speaker. His father, Cy Dresner, was known as one of the most arrested rabbi during the Civil Rights Movement and was a close ally to King. Anthony Hill, a tenured social justice professor at Springfield College, will also join the panel for a discussion.
As an example, as Debbie Wasserman Schultz says in the sizzle reel, Dr. King and Rabbi Dresner gave us a blueprint. Well, a blueprint doesn't do any good unless we put it into action.
Reverend Catherine Cummings, a local pastor serving the Springfield and Chicopee communities, will moderate the event. The panel will be held in the Dodge Room of the Student Union at 11:30 a.m. The college states it's one of the most important events on campus, a chance to bring people together and engage in meaningful conversation about racial injustice and the world around us. Students, staff, and community members are encouraged to attend the panel hosted by Campus Life and the Community Engagement. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Caleb Knowles.
Last Thursday, Springfield hosted an alumni networking event where students had the opportunity to speak with different alumni to receive advice, learn how to prepare for interviews, and make networking connections. Here's more.
One of the things that is the strength of Springfield College is the networking, and so you're seeing it live.
Last Thursday night, the campus had an evening of alumni and student career networking located in the Dodge Room in the Union. More than 30 alumni registered to attend the event and represent their organizations and connect with students about possible future job opportunities. Dr. Fadia Norvit encourages students to attend since it's great to network and you never know who you're going to meet.
Students really need to network and talk to future employers, and they have so much to gain from just coming in to this event, eating some food and relaxing and just talking with people who potentially may become their employers one day.
Dr. Carlton Pickron and Dr. Hira Paulin, who are both alumni, also love attending the event. They always come back and they get to know the students.
Springfield College connecting with students, trying to share the love.
Yes, pay it forward. Mentors like Carlton here are why I am where I am, so I feel it's a great opportunity to come back. And I'm always excited to see what the student body is doing, the new interests, and honestly, anytime coming back here restores my faith in humanity. There are hard workers out there, so I just love seeing the energy.
Students are encouraged to give the Career Center and reach out to Alumni Relations for help with their next career steps after Springfield College. With SCTV3, I'm Lanaya Delgado.
On Friday night, students got to enjoy the winter season without having to brave the cold at Campus Activities Board's ice cream and ice skating event. From 6 to 8, the bottom floor of the Campus Union was replaced with a synthetic ice rink. Students laced up their skates and were ready to take on the new terrain. It took time for the students to get used to how slippery the rink was, but it was smooth skating from there. Live music was also provided for students to jam out as they skated with friends. Outside of Pride's Place was an ice cream bar ran by members of the Harvest Table. The station had 3 flavors of ice cream: campfire s'mores, cake batter, and cookies and cream. CAB's next event is on Thursday, March 12th, titled Pot of Gold Send-Off, from 4:30 to 7:30 on the Naismith Green.
Students filled the Fuller Arts Center seats last Thursday, eager to learn about safe sex. Sex in the Dark is an event hosted annually. On the premise of the event is to have an open and honest conversation about relationships, intimacy, and sexual health. The lights were dimmed in the auditorium and students submitted anonymous questions ranging from dating, communication, consent, and personal experiences. A panel of speakers answered with honesty, humor, and insight, which gave the room a comfortable feeling, allowing for real conversations mixing education and openness with laughter. For many students, Sex in the Dark continues to be a unique opportunity to learn and ask questions about a topic not taught in the classroom.
According to the National Weather Service, the city of Springfield has received a total of 47.3 inches of snow so far this season. How has this year's record-breaking winter affected firefighters? SCTV3's Logan Briggs has more.
As spring slowly approaches, I went down to Springfield's Mason Square Fire Station to see how this year's extreme winter weather has affected first responders.
Snow and the ice on the grounds within the streets haven't been completely clear. I mean, you'll have days where they have been clear, but again, with continuous snowfall, it's been challenging as far as getting by vehicles that are parked on the side streets because with the snow plowing building up on the sides, it's been actually narrowing the paths as far as driving by each street.
A good way to mitigate issues with firefighters and first responders being able to respond to an emergency is taking action to prevent one in the first place.
Biggest fire-related incidences we see in the wintertime are, I would say, because houses are colder or because it's colder outside in general, people are finding it difficult to actually heat their houses. So some people rely on space heaters, which if they're not necessarily properly maintained, they can actually short circuit and start fires themselves that way. Some individuals also use gas ovens to keep their houses warm, which again, if those also aren't maintained, well, they shouldn't be using them at all in regards to keeping the houses warm. But again, if they aren't maintained well, you can either have excess carbon dioxide in the house. Again, they can even just start a fire themselves within the stoves.
Especially during the winter months, it is very important to make sure you have working fire and carbon monoxide detectors. Officials also recommend planning and practicing an evacuation route in your home in case of an emergency. The biggest thing you can do is to shovel out your fire hydrants and help your neighbors. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Logan Briggs.
Staying on the topic of weather, does the fire department have more snow to remove soon, or will they be in the clear next week? We turn it over to SCTV3's Connor Rourke in Studio B with our local and national weather update. Connor?
Thanks, Lanaya. Make sure to grab your umbrella for next week, for the next few days, as the rain will continue to come in tomorrow through Sunday. But get ready for the first big push of spring as next week starts with back-to-back 60-degree days. If that weather doesn't make you a Monday riser, I don't know what will. On Wednesday, a lovely spring shower will take place overnight, leaving a cloudy day. Those clouds will remain on Thursday as well, but the warm weather is finally here. As snow melts, bust out your spike ball nets, footballs, running shoes, and yoga mats to soak up the spring vitamin D. Due to the hefty amount of cold weather and snow New England received this winter, a new season of issues is starting earlier than normal. Some are saying it's a little holy season. Here's more.
If you're commuting to work or driving around campus and notice some extra bumps on the way, that is because we have entered pothole season. AAA says this pothole season has started earlier than expected, thanks to Mother Nature blanketing more snow than the area has seen since the 2014-2015 winter. A few years ago, AAA did some research and found out that 2 in 10 drivers had to get their cars repaired at an auto repair shop after hitting a pothole. That damage is on the rise as potholes continue to get worse around New England. They typically take the shape of puddles to disguise themselves, so be alert on the road. The average cost for a pothole-caused repair is around $400, which makes being aware of the road your best defense. However, if you see a pothole, don't try to swerve out of the way, because many times you could swerve right into another vehicle, property, or even a person. Make sure to stay off your phone and look out for the many potholes on the roads. The owner of Bison Automotive, Bob Gugino, explains some of the frequent issues caused by these potholes.
The most common thing is you get a flat tire. You get a blowout, you get a hole in the sidewall, you bent the rim, you crack the rim, those kinds of things. That's probably the most common. The second most common thing is to have one of these shields fall off, where that falls off and hits the road. And we especially at a low-profile car, we hit a curb or something that's in the road, and these fall off. And then, of course, all the water and the salt and the things get up inside the car and ruin the undercarriage or the electronics of the vehicle.
These dangerous road environments are nothing to overlook. The safety of you and your vehicle is of utmost importance, so make sure you drive carefully during this brutal season. Want to find out who received the Athletic Trainers of Massachusetts Rising Leader Award? Find out after the break during our weekly Q&A. You're watching SCTV3 Weekly News. Stay with us.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
This week's Q&A segment features Springfield College Director of Athletic Healthcare, Kelsey Rinkwitz, who was named the recipient of the Athletic Trainers of Massachusetts Rising Leader Award, an honor given to professionals who show outstanding leadership and service early in their careers. Rinkwitz has played a key role in supporting the health and well-being of student athletes, both on and off the field, while also teaching and mentoring future athletic trainers. SCTV3's Dante Iafredi sat down with her to talk about what this award means, her journey in athletic training, and her passion for serving student athletes.
It means a lot. I don't think any of us do this for recognition. I just enjoy being involved in things like that, but it certainly means a lot and is very humbling when you find that out. Like, I did not know my colleagues had nominated me for it, so then to find out afterwards, like, I was very surprised and it was really cool. I don't think it's one person, but I think it's all of them. My professors at King's really had an impact on me, especially because they all had served in a role similar to what I do now, where they are working clinically, but are also the professors for the program, and that was what made me do what I wanted to do right now. But between them, between my mentors from being at UConn, from where I worked at Eastern Connecticut as a grad assistant when I was at UConn, and even the people here, like in addition to coaches, patients, everyone, like it's not just one person, but it's all of them collectively. I would say it's for those relationships, like the relationships with the patients, like that's the most rewarding part, and seeing someone get back to doing what they love. And I think one of the most rewarding things is having someone come back after they graduated and like reach out to you. I think it's those intangible things. Like it's the day-to-day stuff, but it's those relationships that are built over time that then you connect with those people later, and those turn into those lifelong relationships, especially in the college setting where we're seeing students come in as first-year students, and then you see them move on, graduate, and now they're going into their careers, they're having families, they're doing all these really awesome things, and it's like, oh, well, I knew you when you were just a little first-year student, and now you're doing all these great things, and getting to see them go through that process. Well, I think in all those roles, the student has to be the center of what we do. Like in educating, it's the student. In being an athletic trainer, it's the student and how that patient is progressing. And there's also the education piece that comes into that. Like that's why I like teaching. I like teaching student athletes about what is going on with their injury. What are we doing next? What is our plan? How are we continuing on with that? And from the administrative aspect, it's still making those decisions that best support the student. So they're really the center of all of it. And without them, we wouldn't be in our positions that we are in. Getting involved in whatever is what you're doing, if it is you're in athletic training, you're teaching or whatever, getting involved in service, getting involved in your profession and connecting with those people around you and having that network. My professors in undergrad were really big at service and being involved. And so for me, that's how I got involved in service and kind of giving back, and you're setting the stage for those people after you. So you're looking at, there's a lot of people ahead of you that have done things to allow you to get where you are, and then it's paying that forward to kind of the next generation.
As she continues her work supporting student athletes and educating the next generation of athletic trainers, her impact will be felt far beyond the sidelines here at Springfield College. Now we head into our top national news stories of the week.
On Tuesday, primaries for the United States Senate were held in Texas, a historically Republican state that many Democrats believe they have a chance to win. However, the Republican nominee won't be official for the next couple weeks. SCTV3's River Mitchell has more.
On Tuesday night, residents of the state of Texas headed to the ballot box to cast their vote to nominate a Democratic and Republican nominee for the United States Senate. On the Republican side, incumbent Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton are headed to a runoff in May, with neither candidate receiving 50% of the votes due to Congressman Wesley Hunt also receiving over 13% of the vote. Both Cornyn and Paxton have been going back and forth with each other, with Cornyn bringing Paxton's character into question after numerous scandals, including allegedly abusing his power to hide an affair he had with a staffer. Paxton has also gone after Cornyn, calling him, quote, fake, and also claiming Democrats will win the primary if he's the Republican nominee.
John Cornyn said he was concerned about a bunch of radicals who were going to show up to vote today. It looks like you all showed up.
I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years.
On the Democratic side, CBS News has projected the state representative James Tallarico has defeated U.S. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, even with many of the votes from Dallas County still being counted due to confusion on polling locations. The margin Tallarico produced in many rural counties alongside cities like Austin and San Antonio has pushed him over the edge.
This is proof that there is something happening in Texas. Tonight, the people of our state gave this country a little bit of hope. And a little bit of hope is a dangerous thing.
Many Democrats believe they have a strong chance to win the open Senate seat, as this would be the first time in over 30 years a Democrat would win a statewide election. For Republicans, they hope that the predominantly red state will stay that way come elections on November 3rd. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm River Mitchell.
Congresswoman Crockett has since come out and congratulated Tallarico on the primary victory. She also has come out and said that she will work hard to get as many Texas Democrats elected come November.
The continuing conflicts between Iran and the United States have caused many issues to emerge. One of those issues is the increase of gas prices across the state of Indiana. SCTV's Emily Anastasio has more.
The United States' ongoing conflict with Iran has caused many problems to arise, one of the most concerning to folks back in the States being the continued increase of gas prices. In Mishawaka, Indiana, the price of oil has jumped by more than $10 per barrel over the weekend, and experts are expecting prices for gas to continue rising as a result of Iran's strong influence over the Strait of Hormuz, with the back-and-forth strikes between the two countries continuing.
They have gone after vessels, so it's a real and credible threat that has to be taken seriously, which is why, in essence now, hundreds of ships have dropped anchor in the Persian Gulf awaiting what the next move may look like.
Although experts say that the rising of gas prices during conflicts with the Middle East is not new, drivers continue to express concern as the national average calculations continue to rise, the increase of prices already going up from the original calculation of 15 cents in the last few days and expected to rise another 15 to 30 cents over the next week or two. Diesel prices are also expected to jump by an estimated 40 to 75 cents in the coming weeks. Experts warn drivers not to worry, though, as they believe that increases will soon settle and won't be as dramatic as previous times.
Not record-setting, and the pace of increases, while it may be a little bit dramatic right now, it should settle down in the next week or maybe week and a half.
While drivers may start to feel some relief with gas prices settling and returning back to normal in the coming weeks, politicians say that there could still be a lingering impact to watch for. Not many solutions have been given at this time and will continue to remain unknown, along with the prices of gas across the country as long as the conflict between the United States and Iran continues. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Emily Anastasio.
As tensions continue to rise and strikes are being traded back and forth between both countries, experts say that drivers in other states like Pennsylvania are beginning to see gas prices rise as well and should try to plan their travels accordingly.
With spring break in full swing around the country, some popular destination spots are tightening restrictions. SCTV3's Shane Barron has the story.
Today in Panama City, Florida, Police Chief J.R. Talamentes announced new rules in place for the month of March to combat crimes from spring breakers in the area. Last year, the Panama City Police Department made over 700 arrests on spring breakers in the month of March alone, and Talamentes said it won't happen again.
We are not an environment that is welcoming to unaccompanied youth that is here to commit trouble.
To handle this year's travelers, the department is declaring March a high-impact period from March 28th through April 11th. That means there will be an 8 p.m. curfew for unaccompanied minors, parking fee, and increased crowd control. Minors without an adult will also not be allowed at places that sell alcohol after 10 p.m. Chief Talamentes also sent a message to parents.
We are done with the nonsense. Do not send your kids down here if you're not coming with them. And if you are coming with them, make sure you stay with them, because we're not your babysitter.
Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Shane Barron.
For students going on vacation this spring break, make sure to check your destination for any updated regulations.
After the break, SCTV3's Callan Whitaker has covered SCTV3 Sports Extra.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello and welcome to SCTV3 Sports Extra. I'm Callan Wikander. Here's the latest from Pride Athletics. We start tonight's segment looking at the Springfield College Athletics Hall of Fame. The school has confirmed that this year's 6 inductees. SCTV3's River Mitchell has more on their legacy at Springfield College and how they found their way to the Hall of Fame.
Shock was the first thing.
That was the reaction from Jackie Moscardelli, an exceptional two-sport athlete for the soccer and lacrosse programs, after learning she had just been inducted into the Springfield Athletics Hall of Fame.
It was just like an overwhelming flow of emotions, because I was very, very shocked to hear that, but also very excited, and then instantly just very grateful for the opportunity, because I feel like most people don't get this chance, so I feel extremely honored that it's happening to me.
Moscardelli is also the only player ever to win a NUMAC Player of the Year award for 2 sports. Moscardelli helped propel soccer to NUMAC titles in 2008 and 2010 and a conference championship for lacrosse in 2012. She's also earned All-American honors for soccer and first-time All-Conference and All-Region from the NUMAC, IWLCA, and ECAC for lacrosse.
Yeah, that would be the exemplary performance while wearing the Springfield College jersey. Jackie, a two-sport athlete, made her mark in both seasons consistently at a really high level. My first year as the athletic director was 2015. I was absolutely overwhelmed with this responsibility that I have. And I remember saying to myself that the applicant pool is loaded with people that would be a first-time Hall of Fame ballot inductee at so many other colleges. But at Springfield College, the standard is just that high with our rich history in athletics. I've always said it's not if qualified people are going to get in, it's when.
I think it shows that the expectations are very high. You can get in by winning some Super Bowls, or you can get in by leaving and then educating 5- and 6-year-olds, as I do.
That Super Bowl winner being Steve Spagnuolo, a former wide receiver for the Pride and the only coordinator in NFL history to win Super Bowls with 2 different franchises, appearing in 7 total throughout his career.
One would have to consider the contributions he has made to the field after he left Alden Street. Arguably the best defensive coordinator in the history of the NFL. So I think that probably played into the mind of some of the people that voted.
Other inductions include men's and women's track and field athletes Marissa Clapp, Nick Garrett, and Damian Larkins, alongside men's wrestler Nick Perillo.
Well, and by the looks of it, it does look like I arrived a little bit early, because have no fear, because you can register your spot for this event. The cost is $60. It is taking place right behind me in the Dodge Room on April 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm River Mitchell.
Coming up this weekend, Springfield College has a full slate of home action for Pride fans. On Saturday, the softball team opens the day and its season at noon against number 22 Williams College. Then at 12:30, baseball takes the field against Worcester State. Men's volleyball follows at 1:30 as they host Hunter and Elms in a tri-match. And on Sunday at noon, men's lacrosse closes out the weekend at home against Colby. Plenty of chances for Pride to pack the parks and show their support. In addition, several Springfield College teams will be on the road this weekend. Track and field heads to the AAR TFC Indoor Championships tomorrow and Saturday. Men's lacrosse travels to Endicott for a matchup tomorrow at 6 o'clock. On Saturday, both the men's and women's gymnastics teams will also be in action on the road, with the women traveling to Rhode Island College for the NCGA East Regional Championships and the men battling Army. And women's lacrosse rounds out the weekend with a Saturday noon game at Endicott. Good luck to all Springfield College teams as they take the field this weekend. You can catch all Pride Athletic games streamed on Flow Sports, and if you would like any extra information regarding Springfield Athletics, head to springfieldcollegepride.com. This week's Athlete of the Week interview is with center fielder Chris Balchus of the Pride baseball team. Balchus hit .331 for Springfield last season with 13 extra base hits, while stealing 15 bags and drawing more walks than strikeouts. SCTV3's River Mitchell sits down with Balchus to talk about the team's start to the season, the new head coach, and the annual Florida spring break trip.
So, Chris, I know you've had 2 games this season, coming off of an 8-7 win against Western New England yesterday. I'm just curious, how's morale, how's vibes, in the clubhouse, after 2 games?
It's awesome. We went back to the locker room yesterday, and we put some music on, Jacob Wagner's Party Box, and we kind of just vibed out, listened to some tunes. It was awesome to hear our win song, too, on our field. But, yeah, the vibes are at an all-time high. Happy we beat our rivals, WNE.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to kind of talk to you just a little bit about Coach Shade. I know it's his first year coaching. It's the 3rd coach in the last 3 seasons for the baseball program. What's something that he's really put an emphasis on and really sort of stressed on? And I'm also curious if you like having the stability of now having a coach that is going to kind of be here for the long haul.
Oh, yeah. He emphasizes compete every day. Compete with everything you do, whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's baseball, whether it's any other sport, or just in general in life. Compete. He's a big on competing and a big competitor himself, and he wants to instill that in us. So that's one of his biggest morales, and he's teaching us that as well. Knowing that Shade's going to be here and has been here in the past, honestly, it gives us kind of a sense of security, knowing that this is home to him. The Triangle, Springfield, all of it is home to him. So just kind of like I said, that security. It's nice to know that he trusts us and he is going to give us opportunity after opportunity to succeed and put his faith in guys. And we've been really seeing that this season. I know it's early, but we've been seeing that all preseason, even inside when we're doing drills, live at-bats, whatever it is. He puts his trust and his faith in guys, and the guys can definitely feel it. Like, I'm one to talk. I definitely feel like a sense of safety and trust that comes from Coach Shade.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to talk about your individual success as well. You know, last year you hit 331, had near 1,000 OPS. I'm just sort of curious, like, how do you build off of that season? It's already a really good season. How do you build off that? How do you get better going into this year?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, by doing the same thing I did last year, taking the same steps, competing, that competitiveness inside of me. The competitor in me needs to be more put on display, per se. But for me, it's kind of just been the same thing. I've been trying to find a routine that works for me, a routine that's going to get me success, and kind of just sticking to what I know works and not changing just because I'm failing or I'm striking out a bunch. Just sticking to my guns and knowing that will, in the long run, help me succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also know that, you know, you guys got your trip to Florida coming up here in a little bit, you know, the yearly spring break trip to Florida. I'm just curious, do you have any sort of goals for your trip down there? Do you have a goal for, like, how many games you want to win? Or are you kind of just going in, you know, with the attitude is like, you know what, we're just going to, you know, put our pedal to the metal, try to do our best every single game, and we'll just see what happens?
Yeah, kind of that. We don't really have a set goal. Our set goal is obviously to win NUMAC, make NCAA. But our goal for down there is just to compete, give 100% effort or 100% of what you have that day. Coach Shade also likes to say, so some days you might be tired from lift, running, the game before, whatever it is, but give 100% of what you have that day. So that's something that we're going to do down in Florida. We're looking to win a lot of games, obviously. No one's looking to lose. But, yeah, there's not really like a set goal of how many games we want to win, but we just know we want to go down there. We want to give it our all, and we want to compete.
And from a developmental aspect as well, do you feel like going down there and competing against these other teams, do you feel like it makes you better as a player? Do you feel like it makes the team better?
I honestly do. I think it makes the team better as well, not just on the field, but off the field, like when we're in our houses, whatever it is in Florida, kind of just chopping it up, talking about what happened during the game, what we're going to do after the game, whether it's the pool, whether it's throwing like a football outside, whatever it is, like kind of not just being so focused on baseball when we were down there, and kind of enjoying our time together as a team. It's almost like a team bonding thing at the same time as it is trying to win games. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And last question I have for you. If you could have dinner with 3 baseball players, dead or alive, could be college, could be MLB, who are you going to dinner with and why?
Griffey, just because he's the best, I think, in my opinion, to ever do it. Griffey. And then 2 more. Probably Francisco Lindor, because I'm a big Mets fan.
Okay.
So I want to see how he leads their team and his strategies and stuff like that. But the last guy, one more. And honestly, trying to think. Mike Trout, honestly.
Mike Trout.
Because
okay.
he's had setbacks in his career, a lot of them, but I still think he's one of the game's elites, and he could play at the highest level no matter his age right now or whatever it is. So.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for this week's Athlete of the Week interview. Thank you so much for joining me, Chris.
Of course. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Back to Callan in Studio B.
As the spring season started just last week for teams on campus, SCTV3's Sam McGilpin takes a look at the top 3 performances from student athletes.
Hey there, it's me, Sam McGilpin. I've been gone for a little while, but I decided to do this thing called Sam's Starting Lineup again, where I give you the 3 best performances of this past week from Springfield College athletics. At 3 is Olivia Zielinski. The junior who transferred from Merrimack put up a career-high 4 goals in a 15-5 win against Western New England Wednesday night. Zielinski scored 3 in the first half and was getting to the doorstep with ease off of her roll dodges. Zielinski has cashed in on all 5 of her shot attempts so far this season, as the women's lacrosse team is now 1-1 and faced Endicott on Saturday. Number 2 is Nate Garofalo. Springfield faced WNE Wednesday afternoon, and Garofalo boosted the Pride to an 8-7 win, marking Coach Chad Shade's first win at the helm of the Studbolts. Garofalo singled to lead off the second and third inning, but knotted at 4 with men on the corners in the 5th inning, the junior broke the tie with an absolute mash to right field, ultimately leading the Pride to victory. Garofalo finished 3 for 4 on the day and led the team last year with 7 homers. At 1 is Ian Coate. The Springfield goalie had a career-high 20 saves against Union last Thursday, which gained him the NEWMAC Defensive Player of the Week in a 9-8 win over Union. In a treacherous game against Keene State this Tuesday, Coate had 4 saves, allowing just 3 goals in a 6-3 win. Coate, along with his defensive front, allowed just below an 8% offensive efficiency rating on the day against the Owls. The Chief Dogs are now 3-1 and will face Endicott on Friday night. That'll do it for this edition of Sam's Starting Lineup. SCTV3, this is Sam McGilpin.
Next up, we have a new segment called Pantages' Playbook. SCTV3 Nick Pantages will speak to an athlete from a spring sports team every week. First up, Carter Duravage of the #1 ranked men's volleyball team. Here's more.
I'm here right outside Blake Arena, the home of the #1 ranked Springfield College men's volleyball team. On tap for you today, an interview with their standout outside hitter, Carter Duravage. Let's head inside. Before the season, you were honored as a preseason All-American. How did that recognition feel, and also how did you stay humble and motivated to get even better throughout the season?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels good to have some individual success in a team sport, but it's really about the team. I think Dylan being your center makes it so easy for us outsides, us hitters, to look really good during the season. But at the end of the day, it's the team, it's team sport, and the individual success is nice, but it comes down to people putting us in those positions. So.
And then, you guys came in as the #1 team, but a little bit of a tough stretch recently. 2 losses, admittedly, to 2 really solid teams. How do you guys sort of bounce back from a struggle like that?
Yeah, so I think 2 losses was almost necessary for us to really refocus our attention on things we need to focus on. We've had a lot of 5-set matches so far this year, and I think it's not a bad thing for us to have a loss, but it really had us focus our attention on a couple things that we need to work on specifically. So
now, Carter, can you sort of take me through the process where Dylan gives you a nice set? What's your sort of swing look like, and sort of where are you trying to make contact on your hand?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we look at when we're attacking the outside is the spacing from the net. So I'm always looking to be about 3 feet from the net and finishing my work towards the net. And then with contact, I'm trying to always contact at the highest point. So if that's reaching directly on top of my body, and then opening up to the ball to get a little bit toward the ball. So when I contact the ball, I like to contact it just around at my elbows. So contact it a little bit higher, you're the top that you want. So, and then kind of looking at the block. You do always have a double or a triple block, and that all depends on the set or your passes are coming. Obviously, volleyball is a very vertical sport. Towards the wall has to be, it can lead to some injuries. How do you sort of take care of your body, not only your upper body, but also your legs and your knees? Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. We get a ton of reps during practices, and even more during games, especially since we've had so many 5 sets in the last few weeks. But yeah, so recovery is so important here. We have a recovery room. We do a lot of leg training and knee training. That's the biggest thing. And then after we focus on our legs, we always focus on our shoulders. So stretching before practice, just making sure we're really well to go 100%.
Duravage and the Pride will look to bounce back from their 2-game losing streak on Saturday with a try match, first against Hunter at 1 and then against Elms at 5:30. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Nick Pantages.
That will do it for SCTV3 Sports Extra. Stick around after the break to learn more about the upcoming Best of Broadway musical.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. if I'm really free. Take me down to the river and walk.
Springfield College's Best of Broadway is back with a brand new production, and this year they're diving under the sea. The student-run club is preparing to bring Disney's Little Mermaid to the stage for 3 nights of music and performance. SCTV3's Dante Iafredi takes us inside rehearsal for a preview of what audiences can expect.
From under the sea to center stage, Springfield College's Best of Broadway is back with a brand new production. This year's show features scenes and music from Disney's The Little Mermaid, bringing together students from across campus for a 3-night performance on March 5th, 6th, and 7th.
I think that this year's cast is very hardworking and they all really care about the show. This year is also a Disney production, so I think that also has a effect into it because it is just like everyone knows The Little Mermaid. It's very popular. It's very kid friendly, so a lot of like professors are bringing their kids. So I think it'll be an all around good show.
After weeks of rehearsals, the cast and crew are putting the final touches on a show that blends music, choreography, and student creativity.
I think what stood out to me the most for this year's show is just the dedication that this cast has to making sure that they get everything right. I feel like in past years, the show hasn't come together as fast as this one has. I think everyone's putting in a lot of really great diligence and really great work to be able to make sure they know what they need to know for when they need to know it so that we're prepared when we had a fully realized show weeks ago, which isn't normal for a tech week.
With opening night just days away, the cast hopes students will come out and experience the hard work they've put into this production.
I think that they should support this production because we all just want to share all of the hard work that we've put in with everybody. And we've put in so much hard work, so many long hours, and we're just really proud of this. And this is just, what we love to do overall. And I think everybody will really like it. Also, it's The Little Mermaid, so that's a pretty cool show. But yeah.
Best of Broadway will take the stage March 5th through the 7th, bringing Disney's The Little Mermaid to life right here on campus in these doors behind me in the Fuller Arts Center here on Springfield College's campus. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Dante Iafredi.
Tickets are still on pre-sale tomorrow in the Campus Student Union from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for as low as $5. There will also be an opportunity to purchase tickets at the door for each scheduled show. That will do it for this edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to check out SCTV3 on YouTube to access every archived show as well as all of SCTV3's social media platforms. We thank you again for watching another edition of SCTV3 Weekly News, and we'll see you all next week. Same time,
same place.